This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Blak Magus, and getting off to a slow start this morning. Not feeling very well, but some interesting gaming news came out that I wanted to discuss because I find this very, very fascinating, especially the reaction, the response. I'm always tickled by the fanboy reaction to things, and this in particular kind of amused me even more. It also fascinates me about something. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Microsoft's Game Pass for the Xbox, or Xbox Game Pass, however you want to call it. I kind of don't like saying for the Xbox because it's for PC too. It's just basically, I guess they branded Xbox Game Pass since the Xbox brand carries across platforms. Now, they announced this morning that MLB the Show 21 will be available on Game Pass on its release day. Why is that crazy? It's a Sony produced game. Sony San Diego makes the game. A couple of years ago, I believe, they made a deal with Major League Baseball to not only distribute MLB The Show on their own platform, but to distribute it on the Nintendo, Microsoft, and PC platform from here on out. So from here on out, you're going to see a Sony game on all of those platforms. Because, quite frankly, there's not really any MLB games out there. There is RBI Baseball, I believe, still is being made by Major League Baseball, but it hasn't done that well. And MLB The Show is a very, very highly, touted franchise. It is, as even though it's the only baseball game really that comes out year in, year out, it's always celebrated for being good. I personally sing the praises of MLB The Show all the time. You guys who watch my channel, you know I'm constantly hyping up that game because I love the franchise. I think it is the best sports simulation game out there, hands down. No other franchise touches it. Sure, there are other franchises that are more popular, but if we're talking about the quality of product, none of them beat MLB The Show to me. And so when the announcement came that they were going to be on other platforms, I was like, cool, now everybody gets to see it. Well, now if you have Xbox Game Pass, you'll be able to get it on release date on the console. I'm sure they're going to have the same stipulation that they always have with games when they do that, like with Outriders. They put it out on Game Pass, and then you have to wait a few months before it actually reaches PC Game Pass. So if you own an Xbox console, you will get to play MLB The Show 21 for free. Now, of course, the internet's wilding out. Everybody's bugging. The fanboys are saying like, ha, Sony people got to pay for a game that they already were going to pay for. But we get to get a game that, let's be honest, we weren't going to play anyway, but now that it's free, we are. And I've seen that comment made a couple of times. I've actually seen people that I follow say, well, I had no interest in this game, but shit, you're going to give it to me for free, I'm going to play it. And that's the part that I find so fascinating, especially among the fanboy response to this whole thing. Like, nobody was going to play this game probably on the Xbox platform. Well, I won't say nobody, but I'm sure there weren't that many people pining to play baseball on Xbox. Last time there was a baseball game on Xbox, was it 2011 maybe? Somebody please find that out for me. I actually didn't look it up because I know MLB 2K. I was about to say MLB The Show, but MLB 2K hasn't been produced in a very long time. That was the last multi-platform baseball game. EA stopped doing their baseball games eons ago. Like, nobody made a baseball game outside of Sony San Diego in a long, long time. Not that the license isn't available. They don't have an exclusive, and that's the thing. They've never had an exclusive deal to be the only people to make a Major League Baseball game. They're the only one who consistently made one because theirs has pretty much been the only one that people have really, really liked and has done well, I guess. Others have found no interest in it. So it's not like people were pining for this. You know, it wasn't a game that anybody was looking for. But now all of a sudden it's free on Xbox Game Pass, and everybody's like jumping up and down and going wild. You have people on the Sony side, Sony fanboys, are sitting up here crying like, "Well, whatever. Like, I don't care." Like the back and forth between the fanboys is ridiculous, especially in the sense that when you think about it, again, no one was going to really play that game. And that's the beauty of Xbox Game Pass, is that you can find a game that probably wasn't going to get attention. Like, I did a video about Outriders. People know how I feel about that game. I don't think this is that great. I think it's going to end up being a very successful game and very popular game because of Xbox Game Pass. Because it wasn't a game that was high on people's radar, but because it was free on Xbox Game Pass, everybody's playing it. Of course they're going to play it. You know, and you just think back over all these deals that Microsoft been making. Like, people have been going nuts for it. And the question has always remained to me, it's like, would you really be this hyped for it if it wasn't for the fact that you were under the impression that you're getting everything for free? And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you're not paying a full $60, $70. Get that. But you do have to buy into the subscription base. You have to constantly buy into the subscription base. Microsoft, as I've always said about them, are in a financial enough secure place to where they could risk not getting full price and pay off all these companies to get these rights, because they're trying to build up usership. And when they build up usership, it gets to a point where they pretty much end up making more than they lose in the long run, I'm sure. I don't know how subscription finances work, but pretty sure there is an end game which puts them in a position of profitability off of that service. Because they're giving everything for free. All of their games are getting issued for free. Now they have EA Play on there. So people like me, I don't have to get a subscription to EA Play because I can just grab games off of that are under the EA Play Plus level. They spent billions to get Bethesda, and now they're putting all the Bethesda games on the platform for free. They just paid their biggest rival in the gaming industry for the right to distribute their game for free. It's crazy, and people are going nuts for this. And I think that it's actually kind of brilliant. It's weird because when you look at it, it's like, why y'all spending so much money? But somehow they have to have the end game figured out. Either that or their money is so long they don't fucking care. They're going to risk it all just for this. Because this isn't anything that's going to make people go out and buy an Xbox. Especially if you have a comparable PC to play games on. This isn't going to dissuade people who own a Sony and who have purchased MLB the Show year in, year out from doing so on a Sony platform, because if you're a fan of MLB, you were going to get it regardless. Let's be honest. So that's not upsetting anything in that equation. But what it is doing is it's drawing more and more people into the idea that Game Pass is where it's at. And as someone who owns Game Pass, I can say it's a good product. For me, it's a good product because I know there are certain games that I want to play, and sometimes they show up on the platform. I don't find it necessarily that, it doesn't enchant me the way it does some people, as far as oh my god, I can get this for free. Ha ha ha, you can't get that for free. or just the idea that I can get something for free isn't necessarily it. Like I have specific tastes, and there's specific things on there like that I like. I will definitely take advantage. But it doesn't enamor me that Outriders is on there for free. It's fascinating that MLB the Show for free. I'm probably not going to play it because again, I only have PC Game Pass, and I'm not going to buy an Xbox just to just to play that day one for free. And I guess that's where it really is fascinating me because like yes, this makes Xbox Game Pass just such a attractive product. It doesn't necessarily make the Xbox an attractive product to everybody. I don't think people are going out and buying an Xbox just so they can get an Xbox Game Pass. And that's where I'm curious as to like how this like all works because I think the end goal for Microsoft is just basically make Xbox Game Pass their cash cow. Um, I think the console is a secondary thing. I've always said in the last since the Xbox One was announced that I feel like Microsoft's always trying to transition away from the hardware place anyway, especially since they've been trying to court people like Nintendo to put Game Pass on their platform. Um, so yeah, it's just fascinating because the way that people are reacting to this, like people are saying, "Oh, Sony, this is horrible for you. This is not good for you." Sony's getting paid. Not only that, they're able to, you know, make good on their deal with the MLB of distributing on other platforms, so that MLB can get paid for their license. Every time you download that game, MLB and Sony basically is profiting, or they've already been cut a large check, and the more you do so, the more you're going to encourage them to continue to put their product on your platform, and as long as people can buy it, and I think it's a brilliant move for them because again, no one was going to play this game on Xbox. I don't. People were just realizing a month or so ago that this is actually coming to the platform. Think about that. So yeah, it's from the marketability standpoint, it is like fucking like yo. With Game Pass, Microsoft's killing this shit because the optics are just driving people crazy. I'm curious of what the business size is. I think they're doing well with the business size. Um, but we don't know. They're not going to tell us. But I sincerely think this does nothing for the console itself. If you're not already bought into the Microsoft console, you're not going to buy into it. Um, Not because of Game Pass. Uh, but I think it does, like, if you take the casual crowd, which is maybe where on the console level they're really pursuing. If I'm somebody who hasn't played video games in a while, or I've never owned a console, or I'm trying to get a console for my kid, and I see like if I give them $15 a month, $10 a month, I get to play some. I get to let my kid play a bunch of games for free. That means I don't have to buy him a bunch of games. I can just pay for the subscription, give them the box, and you download whatever they got for free, and you play that. Boom. Go about my business. It can make it attractive in that sense. Definitely. Definitely. But if you're somebody who's big into games, you know where you're going to play your games and you know what you're willing to do. You're going to pay for games, regardless. And it's not going to bother you. So, I don't know, but hats off to it. I think it's amazing because they're going to get so many people downloading this thing who don't even care. That's a win for Sony. That's a win for Microsoft. That's a win for MLB. All those businesses are going to you know, profit off that, and I find that really, really crazy. how how it's going to work out in that regards. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Magus, and I'm out. Deuces.